When it comes to search engine optimization, one of the most difficult, if not the most difficult thing to do for that is getting good, legitimate backlinks to point back to your website. So, in this video, I'm going to share with you guys a new method that I've been working on and discovering a way to generate some of those backlinks, do them at your own pace, do them fairly cheaply, and making sure they're legitimate links. Let me show you exactly what I've been working on. What's up there, guys? Izzy here once again with Get Busy LLC, helping local businesses understand this internet, search engine optimization, website design to get their business found on the search engines and get more business for their business. In this video, I want to talk about SEO and one of the main most difficult things to do with SEO, and that is backlinking. So over the years, I've been doing SEO now for quite a few years, and one of the by far the most difficult thing for me and for anybody who's doing this stuff is getting backlinks to point back to your website. See, over the years, Google developed a way where it can judge the popularity, the trustworthiness, the importance of a website. And the way that it does it is by it going out and just scouring the internet and looking to see if another website or another page somewhere on the internet has created a link that points right back to, for example, your website. The more it sees of that all over the internet, all throughout, that's how it judges if a website is popular or it's worth a damn to get placed at the top of the search results, especially in the infant stages of Google in the old days. This is exactly how they do it. It's basically kind of like if a video goes viral on YouTube or a post on Instagram goes viral or something on TikTok goes viral, usually that's because people are sharing it, people are liking it, people are sending it to friends, sending it to family, that sort of thing. It's being shared. That's the only way these algorithms work. They're looking for human activity, looking to see if something's being shared. So the way Google ranks websites and to some extent these Google business profiles is, again, it's also doing the same thing. It's going out there and scouring the internet to see where this website's being shared. The great thing about local businesses and contractors and home services, you really don't need much because you're usually only competing against, for example, let's say a concrete contractor in a small area. There's probably only about 20 legitimate concrete contractors. Out of those 20, there's probably 10 that have some kind of online presence. And out of the 10, they probably have crappy ones. So all you need to do is be one that's got a really well optimized website, optimizing the Google business profile, getting all that stuff dialed in. And you usually can beat everybody else with just that alone. But if you're in a bigger area where there's, let's say, 40, 50 different concrete contractors or roofers or whatever it might be, then you're going to need additional stuff. You're not only just going to need that website, fully optimized Google business profile, your business citations, all that stuff dialed in. You're going to need to go out there and get some backlinks to point back at your website. So some of the things I recommend here on this channel is going out there and getting links like at the local chamber of commerce, going out to see if there's like little league teams out in your area that need sponsorship, and they'll put a link on their website that points back to your business. Places where you could donate. Maybe there's a local paper that has an online paper version of their local paper that creates a link that goes back to your website, that sort of thing. Those are things you need to do, and they're going to cost you money, of course, but that's what a regular business is going to do anyways. Especially I talked to people back in the older days, people sponsored little league teams, people sponsored certain events, a bicycle race in town to raise awareness about something, right? Donated to the county fair, to a Christmas lighting parade, something like that. That's what people used to do. And you can still do that. And you probably should still do that if you're in a local business. And you'll get links pointing back from websites. But you're also going to need additional things. And some of the ways that I do that is going out and just buying the damn things. You go out there and buy them on Authority Builders. Another one I've been using lately is Loganics, something like that. That's a really good one out there. But in essence, when you're creating a backlink, this is how the typical process ends up working. What you need to do is need to go out and scour the internet and find a website or page, something that's related to your industry or your location. Once you find this page, you go out there and ask the page owner, whoever's managing that page, whoever owns that page, for permission for you to write an article for them that's helpful for their website, for their page, informs their readers, and in exchange, you create some kind of link that points back to your website. So some of that traffic will go through that article, click on the link, and go right back to your site. And you do that often enough and in many places as possible, the popularity of your website is going to start to climb up the search results. It's also going to push your Google business profile to the top. So I want to share with you guys a way that I've been starting to do this, and it's working very, very well. And I'm probably going to be doing it moving forward. So let me show you guys exactly how I do this using something called MediaLister. Okay, guys, there's a website out there called MediaLister.com. It's pretty damn cool. So in essence, what this thing is the middleman. So what this does is it lists out a bunch of websites where you can submit an article, get it submitted, get it published, and create a link that points right back to your website. So it's connecting you with people that will allow an article to be placed on their website. So let me show you how this whole thing works. So you sign up for an account and you go on here and it's called the marketplace, right? You click on here and you're going to see all these pages that allow articles to be submitted and their costs for the submission, right? So you can see that right here. And what you can do is you can go in here and narrow it down to whatever it is that you want to do. So let's say you are out in Denver, for example, and you have like a junk removal business out in Denver and you want an article written, something to do with junk removal that is in Denver. So it's going to give you pages that are locally relevant to Denver where you can write an article, and it's going to show you how much it's going to cost you to submit the article. So you can see that right here on Denver. And then you can check it out, take a look at the actual little newspaper here. So on Denver, look like a little newspaper here for Denver. So there's a great place to get a backlink to point right back to your business out there in Denver. Let's take a look at another one, the Colorado Digest. So you can see this one's $130. You click on it and you can scour and see if this is something that it's beneficial for your business. If it's like matches your business, whatever it might be. You could be a carpet cleaning, you could be a house cleaning, you could be a plumber, you could be a roofer. As long as it's related to the Denver location and you are in Denver, you should write an article that's helpful to this website or to any reader in this area. It creates a backlink to your website. You could also narrow it down by not just local coverage. You can narrow it down by, let's say, media types like blogs, right? You go into blogs and let's take a look. I make sure that's in English because there's a bunch of foreign websites in here. You don't want any of that crap, right? And I'm going to go on to, let's go into the categories, right? And you could go on here. Let's say that's, like I said, let's say it's a junk removal business. Let's go into something like kids and parenting, something to clean up of the, I don't know. We'll just think of something, right? So let's go ahead. I set it up in English. Just put kids and parenting. Let's see if it's something related to parenting. Let's see, Momtastic Mom Blog. Let's click on that. Momtastic Mommy Blog. Right? There you go. Maybe you can write an article on how to clean up a garage or something like that, and then you could create a link that points right back to your business, which is a junk removal out in whatever location that you're at. It's totally related to your business and what you do, and you can get it for $100 plus writing the article. So I'm going to show you guys two examples I've done recently just to show you how this whole thing works. So recently I wrote an article here, cheap junk removal in Cincinnati. Now I'm going to tell you guys, I wrote this whole damn thing out with ChatGPT, all AI. I'm going to show you guys in a later video how to write some great articles using ChatGPT. It should only take you about 20, 30 minutes to write one of these great articles to place right onto your website. So in this article, I talk about why they shouldn't go out there and look for the cheapest junk removal business in Cincinnati, right? Because you're going to end up getting a bunch of crappy service, is going to end up doing illegal dumping, which is very, very common in the junk removal industry. So I wrote this article, right? Put it on this guy's blog. So then what I did is rewrote it in a more professional way and went out and found this page in Cincinnati that again talks about the same subject, the hidden cost of cheap junk removal in Cincinnati. I submitted the article that was rewritten in a more professional way. And inside the article, I even sent pictures and everything. Inside the article, I created some links that point right back to this guy's website. There it is. And then bam, he's got a legitimate backlink from this website that's locally relevant, that's talking about why you shouldn't hire a cheap junk removal because it increases illegal dumping in this city. So there you go, a legitimate backlink. Now let me show you a different one. So again, I wrote out an article about asphalt overlays and resurfacing. What's the real difference? Good thing I know about this industry so I could legitimately talk about it and say everything that I know about these two differences. And then I had ChatGPT write me out a really cool article for this guy's website. We posted it on his blog. We've created links to other pages on his blog. And then what I did is I went out and copied this entire article, went back to ChatGPT, rewrote it in a different way, more professional. And I wanted to add it to a mommy blog that I found out there. Right here, this one right here, she talks about all kinds of different things, right? Like home improvement, upkeeping a home, and things like that. So I wrote right here this article, The Forgotten First Impression, what you need to do, what you need to know about your driveway. And I wrote out this article and I told people about the differences between overlays and resurfacing a driveway, cost differences and things like that, and what to look for when looking for an asphalt paving contractor. Wrote out the article, posted it on their website, paid her about 110 bucks. This article is now live. And as you scroll through here, you're going to see there's a link that points right back to this guy's website. Let me go on here. Where is it at? There it is right there. And there you go. It's a legitimate backlink from a live website and it's talking legitimately about this industry. This is what you need to do when you're building out backlinks. You can't just go out there and get shit on Fiverr or get some spammy ass crap, PBNs and all that bullshit, because none of that crap works. What Google's looking for is live traffic, live websites, articles written related to your industry that's pointing right back to your website. So there you have it. It's just another method and another tactic that you can use to start building out some of these backlinks to your business website to help it push it to the top of the search results. Now, is this stuff easy? Well, not really, but with the things with this AI crap, it's going to be way easier. Like I said, I wrote those articles using AI. If you have knowledge in your industry, so it's really, really simple to do. All you have to do is like talk it out into a talk to text, make a video about something, use the transcript, write the blog article, put it on your website, use ChatGPT to rewrite it again in a more professional way, and then submit that article to one of those websites that you find on there. And like I said, as you go through there, you're going to see some that cost $100, $200, $3,000. There's some on there that cost like $10,000. But it totally depends on what you're looking for, the industry, your location, things like that. You guys are a local business. You guys don't need crazy amounts of this stuff, just little bits here and there to get things going, pay for some backlinks at the authority builders, Logonics here and there. And with time, you're going to get your listings get pushed up to the top and your websites to the top and get you positioned at the top of the search results, which again gives you more leads for your business. So if you guys need help with any of this stuff, you guys want to learn more of this stuff that I show other people how to do for themselves, go to the description below. You can join my little group. I show people how to do all of this stuff on their own. Or if you don't want to deal with any of that crap, just book a call with me. I'd be happy to do some of this stuff for you. And all this backlinking and all this stuff is, yes, it's very, very important, but it's going to be a complete waste of time unless you have your website perfectly structured to begin with. In some instances, just doing that alone is enough to get you to the top of the search results in less competitive markets. And if you guys want to learn how to do that, I created a video right here where I talk about how to perfectly structure a website for a local business. And that's all I got for you guys today. Until next time.